Good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday, y'all. This is your man G, and welcome to Candid Conversations, where we have stimulating conversations involving real life people and real life situations. I am here with my beautiful yet intelligent co-host,
Tabby, your Chief Perspective Officer.
You act like you had to rehearse that. It took you a little break in between.
CBO.
It's okay.
I'm just listening for your cues.
My Chief Perspective Officer is in the building. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing wonderful on this nice Saturday. It's a little chilly outside, but still great.
Yeah, it's supposed to be snowing.
Yeah, that's, Georgia weather.
We've experienced all 4 seasons.
Within the last 4 days.
Within the last 4 days. Hallelujah. Listen. Boy, look, listen. Before we get started, I want to make sure that you, my YouTube audience, make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you can get all of this good content that's about to come to you with real life situations happening. You feel me? So make sure you do that because you don't want to miss nothing that's about to go down.
And for our radio audience, make sure you download the ATL Talks app on your Google or Apple, whichever is your pleasure. Take us with you on the go, at your house, or wherever your favorite listening spot is.
Yes. So for those of you who are still laying in bed who got drunk last night, or you are doing your laundry, or you are at the gym, I appreciate you taking time out of your day, life, seconds of your time to listen to your boy this morning. We got good stuff going on today, and I got some good guests I'm going to go ahead and introduce to the world. I mean, it's a light-skinned show, I guess.
Big facts, big facts.
Big facts. We got a light-skinned though. So, I'm going to start with my man. Y'all know him from Red Cop Conversations on my sister station, Hot 92.3, every Saturday and Sunday from 4 to 6. Shawn Ward.
What's going on, good people? Okay.
We just doing production in the background. It's okay.
Okay.
I guess it's maybe too loud, so you can just kind of relax.
Okay.
You gonna tell what's telling people stuff?
I got interrupted.
Okay, let me do the introduction again. Okay. So, listen, my first guest is on my sister station, Hot 92.3. It's actually become a very, very good friend. We have a love-hate relationship, but I love him more, though, than hate him. Shawn Ward, what's up, man?
What's going on, good people?
How you doing this morning?
Man, I'm good, man. Super Bowl weekend, man. We're getting ready for a great show and starting out here. Great weekend, man. Starting here first. And then later on from 4 to 6 p.m., I got some surprises on my show. So, always a pleasure to be on Candid Conversation with G, man. I've just seen him unfold a lot of great conversations over the last almost year now. So it's good to see it, man. Good to be here.
It's almost been a year, huh?
Yeah, time flies, man. And he still continues to wear all black to be all black. I'm so confused.
Well, I was going to talk about somebody.
I've been thinking you'd be naked.
You do?
Yeah, when I come in, it's okay. I'm glad the light's on.
Yeah.
Yes, thank God.
It's fine, Talk about you. Ooh, I got to behave with this with him. Well, you see what I have to deal with? You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
Tab, this is what I have to deal with.
Oh, your little co-host too. Hey, Tab.
Little co-host. Wow, big words coming in from a not so timely fashion, but it's all good.
I was gonna get him, but I'm gonna let you get him.
It's all good though.
Shawn is always on See People Time to say he light skinned.
I'm on God's time.
Y'all
never complain about God being late. When you ask for him, he's right? He's always right on time. I'm always right on time.
No, you're 10 minutes late, and then I gotta hear from Cap. Your show's supposed to start at 10.
You can always start at 10. I feel right in. You saw the 5 Heartbeats when they lead singer was late. He was in a whole gambling game. Rushed in, got in, and right on time. That's what happened. That's life lessons, man. Okay. Moral of the story is
stop.
Be right. Okay.
Just stop. Thanks.
Or you could just show up on time.
Or you could just not be concerned about my time.
It's all right.
Either or.
I have a whole nother guest to introduce. It's okay.
I thought you did.
Dang. I'm sorry. Listen. This is another good friend of mine, man. Fashion model, fitness guru, light skin too, green eyes. If you want to see what it looks like, check out this YouTube platform when it come out. What's up, Rejean?
Yo, what's going on, G? How you feeling?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm all right. I was Mr. Speed Demon today, and I didn't make it late. I was trying to balance out the light skinness that was going on.
You
I knew he was gonna be
use your
late.
light skin privilege?
I knew he was gonna be late, so I was like, I called. I said, hey, look, you be late, I'll be on time. We balance it out. You know,
See,
that's
Tab, that's that light skin privilege.
That twinning, light skin
It was
twinning.
light
a slight
skin
twinning.
privilege.
It was like
Y'all do realize it's Black History Month, right?
It is.
Okay, I'm sorry.
we all black.
Y'all racist though.
We all black.
Huh?
Y'all racist because y'all use y'all light skin privilege.
I
50 Shades of Black.
did no such thing. I did no such thing.
Hey.
It was I used my suavemente
Nice.
powers today.
Today.
To talk myself out of a ticket.
See,
that
Shawn, take heed from your light skinned brother.
Take you from what? I'm sorry.
Rush Chick got pulled over by the police and still made it here on time.
But they call me Flash. So that's the only in I have right
Okay. Well, tell these people a little bit about yourself, where you from, what you do.
Where do I start at, right? So we are currently in Atlanta. So I have been here for 6 years. I keep up with that because my daughter is 5. So I've been here a year before she came into fruition, right? I'm coming from New York, 20 years in New York.
New Yorker.
New York, yeah. Queen's King, like J. Cole say. Queen's King.
Okay.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, I got into the fitness world, not the regular way, I would say. I've been doing karate since I was 5, in and out until about 13, 14, and started running track, where the name Flash came from. Ran track in college for a year. Ended up stopping to like it, and that usually always is because I allow somebody else to make a decision for myself, which was a very young me. But I ended up playing rugby the second year of college, super physical sport from track. And then I got back into karate, became a black belt in karate in the midst of that. Went to school for massage therapy, trying to find my life and what my purpose was, and became a personal trainer all in one. So there goes the personal trainer, group boot camp classes, massage therapy, and I teach karate for kids. And
Listen.
COVID pushed me back into my high school days, and now I have a renovation and painting business that I do on the side.
Wow.
This is just all purpose.
Yeah.
Purpose.
Yeah, just all
I'm
purpose.
everywhere.
Light skin all over the place.
So he might be a little dark on doing all that work, a little Mexican in
Also
there
Drake,
too.
I'm light skinned, but I'm still a dark. Yeah, that's how it goes.
50 jobs, man.
Well, listen, I appreciate y'all taking time out of y'all time to come out here. I know Shawn probably dead sleepy. And Ray, I appreciate you dodging the law.
I appreciate you, man.
Probably licked your lips at that lady and was like, I got to go.
I look, I know I'm filming, so I haven't even done it yet. I just keep drinking water.
Well, listen, man, we gonna dive in, man, because we got some dynamic topics to talk about. Make sure you stay tuned because I'm sure one of these topics, well, you can relate to. I think we all relate to these, Tab. What you feel like? We can relate to these?
I think they all resonate with everybody on some level, including Shawn.
Shawn, boy, you gotta love Shawn, man. All right, listen. Y'all ready to dive in these candid
Shawn, I
conversations?
appreciate you. I appreciate you, man.
For
Just for being you.
I just don't need a man to appreciate me. Thank you, though.
Oh gosh.
It's okay.
So you see how that went.
So now I see how it's gonna go.
Yes, it's okay.
Shawn's a different caliber of
Maybe
he's
it's
okay.
It's fine. It's
He's
fine.
a different caliber of
I've dealt
person.
with them all. So
It's like
okay.
the world and humans and then Shawn.
This is life.
That's him.
Yeah.
He all right.
It's okay.
all right.
Explain so much.
He's alright.
So listen,
Y'all crazy as hell.
I want to dive into a conversation that I was kind of thinking about just over the course of life as a black man.
As black
You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all thoughts on, do you feel that the world is set up for black men to fail? Do you feel like it's just set up for, like when you think about the prison system, when ladies throw their their husbands on exes or boyfriends or whatever on child support, how quick we get sentenced to stuff for the littlest thing, pulled over by the police, beat to death, all this stuff that go on as far as a black man. Do you feel like it's just set up for us to just fail?
Who you want to start?
Anybody can
Y'all
chime in.
black men.
What do y'all like, man? Go ahead, Shawn.
No, you good?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
1,000%. I mean, you already know this is going to be a conversation. I mean, 1,000%. It's been set up. Black women fell for the okie doke back in the day and further us behind. It's been designed since the slave time, and it's crazy that we have to start with that because I get tired of starting with slavery, because America wants to continue to remind us what we were to them. But yes, the world is designed for a black man to fail and not achieve. So many obstacles black men have to go through. For example, because I know people trying to figure out, well, why did you say black women? Well, the civil rights movement has obviously, if you haven't realized, done anything to support African Americans at all.
Right.
Two, the civil rights movement allowed white women to vote and black women to as well. They rode the coattail of white women during the civil rights movement in order to gain equality. At that point, during that time, the no man in the household law came into effect. There are several movies that display this behavior where a black man, they don't want black men in the house. I.e., if you don't understand how this pertains to current day, this is what you call WIC.
Yeah.
If you don't understand what else it comes from, it's called welfare. The first thing they ask you when you have a baby, where's the father?
Yeah.
The father's not present. What happens? They automatically put you on government assistance. Then they go try to find the father. So what I try to tell people is that they know the strength of the black community, which is the black man. Once they persuaded the black woman, at that point, the plan was in effect. So 50 years later, we now have what we call, because you had two pivotal things that happened. I need people to understand this and know their history first. You had the independent black women movement, which became as we know now, as the black feminist movement. Mm-hmm. The black feminist movement also put us 30 to 40 years behind. If you don't understand that, I'll give you another example. You have a thing called the Me Too movement, which was founded and headed by a black woman who absolutely looked like Ving Rhames.
Damn, you're so disrespectful,
what
bro.
Does that have to
what does that have to do with the movement?
A lot. But that's another story. Two, after that, for another example, what we have when we talk about the division or the struggles of the black man, once you created the black feminist movement, now you have everything that a man does is considered what the new word terminology is called toxic masculinity. What your granddaddies and daddies used to do, what you used to thrive and find for and search for, masculinity is now considered to be toxic because you want to step into that man's role. I just pissed off 1,000 women by saying that.
That's fine. Hold on. So while we got a woman in the room, my co-host and CPO, Chief Prospective Officer, how do you feel about what he said just now?
Well, where do I start? So the original question is the world set up for the black man to fail, right? So the world itself is not set up for any person to fail. The world is not. The experiences in America have concentrated on the black person, and that includes the black male and the black woman. This is not something that happened just to the black man. This happened to the black family altogether. It was never a direct attack on the black man. Mm-hmm. First of all, the powerhouse, the seat of the power is always in the woman, because the woman is the life giver and all of those things. So when we're talking about an attack on the black family per se, then obviously there are several things that stem from that. You also mentioned, of course, government programs and things like that. Government programs is always designed to further the interests of the quote-unquote government in itself. It happens to compound to us because we're already in a certain situation. Now, when we're talking about black women taking upon, certain roles and things like that, more or less is that black women had to respond to what was going on with the black man, which meant that I may had to step into the lead role. Not necessarily because I wanted your position or anything like that. I enjoy being a female. I enjoy being feminine and all those things. But when things have to get done, things have to get done. And it shouldn't matter if it's the male of the family or the female of the family. If this is about survival and us banding together to make sure that we continue the family and to make sure that the family, survives, thrives, and does all the things that they have to do, then it doesn't really matter if So, for example, when we're talking about, obviously, when they don't want a male in the house, knowing that, why wouldn't you use that to your benefit? Okay, they don't want you in the house, but we also know I grew up in the era where, you know, the man wasn't, quote unquote, supposed to be in the house and things like that, but actually the man was in the house, and basically you use that as a platform to use the system to your benefit. Humans in general will do things for each other, and I think it's unfortunate that a lot of it has obviously happened to the black race in general, and that's not to say that, that's not to downplay any of that. At the same time, though, we do have to look at, again, what has also transpired from that, and those are a lot of human situations.
Okay. Ray, what you think?
Okay.
Before Shawn do the counterparts, because I know he ready.
Yeah, because that was all wrong.
I know he ready.
Of course you're going to say it's all wrong, because it's coming from somebody other than yourself.
No, I have facts.
No, you don't. You have perceptions.
This is what I taught, and this is what I do, and this is facts. But let my man speak.
We'll talk.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Black History Month. Here we go.
Of course, right?
So, I'm usually the comedic relief, but one, I think there's truth on both sides from what I've heard thus far. But there is one thing that wasn't said that then was touched on, but I think that is really the base premise. So back to the original question, is the world set up for a black man to fail? The world is not set up for a black man to fail, but there have been systems that have been put in place for us to be failures.
Okay.
I think that is what she said when she said the system is set up. Yeah, that's one system over there. The prison system is a system.
Yeah.
Welfare, WIC are systems that have been put in place, and that's what sets up the failure for the black man. And if the black man is a failure, then the black family fails. That's how I feel.
Okay.
I've been a part of one part of that. I am a baby daddy.
Right.
So I know what child support looks like. I know what child support can
Right.
do to you as a man, as a black man, especially because I know my white friends, my Spanish friends, some of them are baby daddies too. It just don't seem to hit the same as it hits for us for some
I was just
reason.
gonna say,
It's a power move. It's not powerful, but it's a power move.
I was just gonna say that.
And, if you're not one to know how to navigate around or through the system, I heard somebody say this in a verse, and they said, you got to stay grounded in situations. If you can't go through it, then you got to go around it. And even the around system is not set up for us to succeed.
Yeah.
Because if you try to go around it, you get put right back through the ringer to go right back where you started at. It's like a game of Monopoly where the black man never catches up. You never collect 200 pass go, because it may look like, every time it looks like you pass and go, it's like you get 200 taken away from you.
I feel like, and here's the thing, like, I feel like women do use that as a just to cock the gun, like, oh, I got this in my back pocket. Oh, you're not gonna act right, so this is what I'm finna do. I'm about to slap you on this child support. I'm about to go ahead and act like I ain't getting no income. I'm about to act like they feel like they can use it in their back pocket, and I just feel like that's very vindictive of them.
Yeah.
So basically, everybody's saying that's what I just said. So let me help you understand, because I know when you argue with Negroes, you have to understand, present some kind of facts, the white man's facts, for you to understand the truth. So systematic oppression is what he's referring to, which is a worldly thing. It's not a Western civilization thing.
Yeah.
Systematic oppression is what keeps the black man from gaining anything. Okay, so now since we're on the same page, here's the problems that we occur as black men, as far as from the times of when we came to America. I hate to start there, but the most powerful, and people thought it was, in theory, the most powerful slave master ever was Willie Lynch. When they created Willie Lynch, the main target in the Willie Lynch letter and his powers and controls was to remove the black man from the household. That was during slavery. Post-slavery, it was the same objective. Remove the black man, because the black man is the strength and foundation of the black household, right? The black woman is the backbone of the household. That's exactly, she was created by God, who's black, to be the support system of the black man, i.e., Adam's rib.
Yeah.
So when we say I didn't have facts, babe, I got facts for hours.
So those facts.
I wasn't finished. So
Don't be rude.
Because I'm passionate about this because it's
Don't be
pissing me
rude,
off.
though.
Because anytime you bring up black women, it's automatically unnecessary defense. It's an ugly truth that black women and black men don't want to face. Is that because black women rode the coattails of white women to support the civil rights movement, it put us 60 to 100 years behind. You have Planned Parenthood. Black women fell for they obviously 100% failed for the okie doke with Planned Parenthood, because Planned Parenthood was supporting white women still to this day to have unwed kids to get rid of. Black women fed the coattail. They rolled the coattail of that, right? And then what did it do? It created genocide in black communities. That's what the Planned Parenthoods were designed for.
Okay,
Shawn.
I got you. Hold on before you start. I love you.
We talk about this for hours.
No, I love you. I love you. Say space, and you know this is safe space.
100%.
But just don't be rude to my
No, don't say I don't have facts.
That's fine. I'm
We're the
asking
same
you
thing.
not to be rude to my
Address
co-host.
it. Don't say I don't have facts.
That's cool.
I'm beyond educated.
That's fine.
Okay.
I need you to hear what I'm saying. Like, real talk. Just
No, I am.
don't be
No,
rude to my
I'm not
guest.
rude.
And I didn't take it personal.
I did. I was like, don't be cutting nobody off.
Yeah, it's a debate.
It's not a debate. It's an exchange of ideas.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So it's an exchange of ideas, and of course, Shawn's gonna, of course, be passionate about his ideas.
He always passionate.
But there
Of
are
course.
facts. These are
But
facts.
But again, facts actually is a relative word, because what was a fact today may not necessarily be a fact tomorrow.
1 + 1 is 2, no matter what day
Well,
you wake
we're
up
not
on.
talking about numbers. You said facts.
These are
Like,
facts.
I
History
said,
month.
there are facts that you have read upon on some things. So, for example,
You like to
quoted
disprove
Willie
my
Lynch.
facts.
I don't like to
Okay.
disprove your fact. I just like to, again, exchange ideas, exchange perspectives,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So, this Willie Lynch, what do you know about Willie Lynch?
A lot.
What? Tell me something specific.
Maybe
Not a
you should
lot.
look for it. I
No,
know.
No.
Yeah.
You quoted him. You quoted
Willie Lynch, the Willie
paper.
Lynch letters, etc.
Okay,
Willie
the
Lynch
letter.
was.
I didn't ask you about the letter.
No,
I asked you about the man.
I never finished. This is why this is amazing when you talk to black people. Willie Lynch, who is a known slave master during the slave time, created a system. It was in theory to be hypothetical. It's been so many rumors. It's been so many myths, but it's been proven either way. The Willie Lynch system from the Willie Lynch letter was in effect and was used by slave masters. That's a fact, not idea.
I did not ask you about that. I asked you, what did you know about
He was a
Willie
slave master. What else do you want to talk about?
Where did he exist? Where
In this
is the man
world.
that you said? Okay. So,
Right.
well, with that being said, based
Yeah.
on your conversation regarding that, when you're talking about black women riding the coattail and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
the items that you're quoting, the issues that presented to black women existed before that, and black women still had to survive regardless of whether or not white women got the right to vote and any of those things anyway. So all of the things that you're saying that came behind some of those, you're not looking at what was going on prior to that.
For example?
Again, you're talking about everything centered in the Western world that you're saying, but you're not quoting anything outside of that.
Slavery was a global effect.
Slavery happened in all races. There's not a race on the planet that did not experience
So you're saying that
oppression.
the transatlantic slave trade or anybody else slave system had more effect on their community
I
and
never
culture?
said that.
So why bring up any? I don't give a damn about nobody else's slave
I
trade
didn't, I didn't say
or
that you didn't
slavery.
care about their slave trade. What you said was that you made it seem as if it was an exclusive oppression that happened only in America.
That's good. No, I'm saying it's systematic oppression towards African Americans to this day, and Africans and African Americans. I know exactly who's been through all kind of slave systems, but they still reap the benefits. The number one, since you brought this up as your argument, are the Jews, which is not even a race, which is actually a religious belief, who actually still to this day have reaped benefits and have been one of the top 3 cultures who have received reparations from slavery, from what they call slavery. They don't even call it slavery, they call it the Holocaust. So when you say other cultures have slavery, don't ever compare that. Nobody has been through
It was
nothing.
not a comparison. We were talking about oppression.
To even bring it up, you said
can
slavery.
still bring it up.
You said slavery.
I said oppression. And
Okay.
it's been,
Well, technically, we were talking about the black man. Okay.
100%.
Okay. So we need to pull that back.
Try and get back there.
We need to get back there.
Systematic oppression affects no other race but African Americans. It barely affects the Spanish culture or Latin America, but it affects and targeted African Americans, period? Do we need to look at the jail system? Do we need to look at the welfare system? The only thing that's confusing about the welfare system is that the major benefits from the welfare system are non-African Americans, but the most publicized use of welfare is those of African Americans. White poor Americans are the biggest users of the welfare system. It's been a misunderstanding for years, but the forefront in the face of welfare is African Americans because they removed the black man from the household and the black woman had to survive, according to what she said. But the black man was purposely removed from the household because when you go through a recession and a financial struggle, the movie Claudine explained it. James Earl Jones was in the house. He had to leave and hide in the house, so therefore the caseworkers and the social workers could give her benefits.
I mean, we're not denying that oppression.
Seemed like you did.
No, that was denying it, and making a broader perspective on it is not a denial of it. And when you keep talking about the man had to be removed from the house, so what was the woman supposed to do?
We making an excuse?
An excuse to keep surviving because the man's not there.
It doesn't matter about surviving.
The man leaves.
The issue.
What is she supposed to do? So the man is no longer in the house.
Which was the question. It's designed for black men to fail.
Regardless as what's designed, once the black man is gone, regardless whether he voluntarily left, because not everybody was removed from the house because of the system. Some people just left.
That's true.
Which is what people do.
Yeah.
So in that instance, what should the remaining people do to survive?
They're quite obvious. To survive. That's human nature. Yeah.
Which means that I'm going to use whatever resources I have available for.
That's correct.
So let me ask this. So you can chime in, though. Don't sit there and be so quiet.
This is really heated debate.
Yeah.
No,
Listen. So let me ask you this. So, and I can ask you this, Cole, CPO. So because I have a few friends that are dealing with this right now. So like, as a man, if I go and I have my kids and I'm doing a responsible thing,
right?
I go down to let's say the food stamp office.
Okay.
And I go over there and I try to get me some food stamps. They're going to look at me like I'm funny. I feel like in certain states and certain perspectives, they give women so much.
We in a state like that.
Yeah.
See, I don't know because
we are currently in a state like
I don't know where it originated from because I've never been one to reap the benefits of benefits. Like I can't go down and get food stamps. I got to pay that shit cash. I mean that stuff cash. You know what I'm saying? I can't get what y'all get.
You can't now because the benefits are designed for a certain income level. So if you're showing that
you're
a single male, it is.
But
Those programs.
Even within that, if it being put in an income level, who is the lowest in the income levels? It's usually us. It's usually because of the split apart of the family. It's usually he not out making X money. Yo, I hate it, but there are 13, 14, 15-year-old TikTokers that make more than my grandfather ever did. And he actually did a hard day of work. Yeah. There was labor involved.
He wasn't in camera.
It wasn't just posting something or just talking to somebody. And it's ridiculous because if you look at that now the value of a black man going hard working, it's non-existent. It's not even now. There's no as a black woman, if you're supposed to go look for this hard working man, that's not what's being glorified anymore either. No. So therefore, that system of even a black man wanting to get back into the family is a setup for failure too. Because I gotta be doing this all day, and this is what it looks like to be up there. But I know dudes who still work 9 to 5s who make bread, and if they're not visually showing it, you would never know. So therefore, they're not on the top list of a black woman wanting to be with them. Yeah. Therefore, creating the black family, and therefore they're being success. So no matter where you go,
there's a failure.
There's always a wall to hit. There's always a door that it's a door. So it should be able to be open, but it's not.
It is a bit harder for us. Like I said, I got a couple friends. Like one of my friends, he was dating this chick, and the chick called the police on him and said, he hit my child.
Right.
Instantly in jail. Instantly. It wasn't no question. Instantly. It was like, cuff him, he's gone. And this man like sitting here like, what the? I didn't even get to prove myself or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I'm sitting here like, dang, like, even, it scares me to even get in my car to drive.
I mean,
I got pulled over in Alabama on the way back from Louisiana last. I was like, oh, I'm about to die.
You just want to survive the stop.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sitting there like,
I have a certain rule now. If you ask me to get out this car, it's probably a me or you thing. It's gonna be me or it's gonna be you. I'm already set up for that. And with the background I have in my martial arts, I told my dad one day we were driving. My dad, reckless driver. I know if you drive with him, you may think my name is from him, Mr. Flash, but it is not. My dad is a reckless driver. And we was driving one day, and I seen the police, and I said, Dad, I just want to let you know, if they pull us over, you gotta be ready to fight too.
ain't that crazy?
I think
It's wild to have to live like that.
Yeah,
100%.
Like we in the Wild Wild West.
Yeah.
And we technology here, money, this act, people are learning stuff about ourselves as black people. There's progression, but it's still like, yeah, it's a Wild Wild West out here. There's too many
I don't feel like it's
videos,
progression.
too many things. You know what it is? It's like when people say you mature, right? And you look at it and you go, okay, well, I'm mature. But the fact of the matter is you can be a really mature businessman, but be very, very immature in your relationship. You can be very mature in your relationships, but be a very, very immature person when it comes down to you going to work. You always late. You never do the assignments that's been told and given to you, blah, blah, blah. You immature.
Yeah.
So you can't look at it like it's gonna be an overall thing. You can't. It's gonna be very specific. Very
Yeah.
specific all the time.
I think we don't understand. I think black people are starting to fail to understand systematic oppression, because what once you understand the world. See, this is what's crazy when I'm standing on what I'm saying, because the world is set up. Because you have things like the ism factors, capitalism, imperialism, colonialism, all these isms, right, affects, as she said, the black culture and black women, right? But then if you peel back the layers, there's a specific target. As we go back to everything, which is the black man. Black men can get welfare, right? You have to be homeless. And what I mean by that, it's not an exaggeration.
No, I'm serious.
There's a line on the form. If you're currently homeless, you're getting an emergency food stamp situation, right? You can get food stamps, but here's the thing.
You have to lie about it.
You have to lie about it. But here's the thing again. Women automatically.
I never understood
And
that.
the catch to that is because they roll the coattail of the civil rights movement embodied the black feminist movement. If you don't believe the black feminist movement existed, leave this world now and go meet Jesus, because that was detrimental to our community, because it created these ideologies that didn't make it separated us, just like desegregation. We wanted to have the same benefits as white folks had, and it put us 100 years behind. I didn't need to sit in the same classroom as you white people do. I'm getting the best education possible in my own community. Yeah. So because we wanted to look apart, which we still have the black bourgeois still to this day, right? Because even W.E.B. Du Bois, who was a black bourgeois in his later years of life, realized that was the problem. That's why he ended and lived his life in Ghana for 30 years. So when we understand, when we say the world, right? Because if we don't understand the world moves and dictates based upon Western civilization.
That's not true, because the world existed before Western civilization. Western civilization is actually the baby of the world.
You're talking about ancient times. I'm talking about the time time is where I live in now. I'm a black man that lives now.
I got that, but you're talking about the whole tapestry of the event. So, and again, I'm not saying that you don't have points in reference to.
Because you're clearly trying to discredit the facts.
No, that's not discrediting the facts. Just because I have a response to what you're saying, that's not discrediting you. That is me adding to the conversation, because this is a conversation.
It
right?
is.
More than one person expressing thought.
Yeah, I just want you to be right.
So, right, and I would appreciate if you would do the same. Yeah. So with that being said, when you talk about the systematic oppression of black people, nobody is denying that. I'm a black person. I'm not denying that as well. What I'm saying is that there are a lot more factors to it. And actually, when you look at when you start to really peel back the onion, you look at it is really classism. If you take a look at when the civil rights movement, when it really
Would I be wrong about saying it's incorrect?
You can say it, but again,
it'd be
let
your-
me finish.
that's all.
So
Okay,
because
so
when it really went left is when they started to attack classism, when they started making the poor people's movement. That had nothing to do, that was obviously more of black people that were impacted because of our income levels and things like that. But the real pretty much thing that turned the whole tide around was the fact that they started looking at poor people's money in general. And that was affecting a larger portion of white people. So once you had that movement to be impacted by it, now you have a small fashion of things that it was okay for everybody to put everything, make black people the target and all that other stuff. That was an accepted part of the American culture. Once you had white people looking like, hey, I'm poor too. Now I'm actually joining in the poor people's revolution, so to speak, or movement, so to speak. You're talking about now a larger number of people that are going to be looking at, again, those people that put those systems in place. Because, again, it's more a level of classism. That's when you're going to get the broadest, most of oppression for people, not necessarily races. It ended up looking, again, like it's more of us because we are impacted. When they say when America gets, a cold, black people get the flu, because it's going to affect us more because we already have a whole bunch of other underlying issues that, again, to your point, that already led up to where we were.
Can I respond to that?
Yeah, it's a conversation.
Oh, because I know you want to.
I'm okay with other conversations.
Okay, classism never affected African Americans at all, because we were never considered to be a human being in the first place. So let's be clear.
It has nothing to do with class.
It does. Classism has a not. I don't know if we need Webster Dictionary to help you understand classism, but classism never affected African Americans. One of the first black millionaires in the state of Georgia, I'm not even from here, I know this history, is Alonzo Herndon. Alonzo Herndon was one of the first
Herndon
black.
Holmes. I'm from Atlanta.
He's one of the first black millionaires in the state of Georgia, right? What do you think his class would be? Exactly. He was still a black. He was still a nigga with a lot of money.
You're talking
Wait
about.
a minute. Hold on. To this day, it's a lot of niggas with a lot of money. And at the day, when we talk about classism, there's 3 levels to classism to be clear. There's high class, there's middle class, and low class.
And the elitist class.
The elitist class is some nigga conspiracy. There's high class because this was documented, tax documented works. On the tax bracket, you had high class, you had to make over 300, you had to make over 200, well actually it changed, but you had to make over $500,000. In order to be middle class, you had to make $250,000 and such. And low class was $25,000 and below.
You're talking about a tax system.
Elite,
that has nothing to do with class.
Yes, it does. Elitism. Okay, elitism is a method that was used by people of power and elitism.
You just said at least that it didn't exist.
It didn't exist as you try to say when it comes to classism. Elitism is a theory, just like you have people who are atheists. It's a belief. Okay. But when it came to actual classism was based upon your financial practice.
Here's the thing: I don't understand how we got on classism again. I don't know how y'all take 285 all the way back around. I need y'all to get back to: is the system set up for a black man to fail?
She's proving my point that systematic oppression, which all these are systems in place, affects and has bogarted the black man from being successful. Should we talk about the prison system? Which over 75% of the people in jail are African American. They look like me and him.
Was the world set up, not the system.
The world is.
The question was the world set up.
The world is.
That was the actual question.
If we don't understand the world is, the biggest insurer of slaves was Lords of London, which still lives into effect. That is a non-Western civilization company and place. Yes.
I never said that they were not influenced by that. That was never what I said.
The transatlantic slave trade means transatlantic, which means the middle body of the slave trade was not in America. That's part of the world.
In America,
Okay.
It came to.
So I'm going to shift because it doesn't look like I'm going to get the answer to my question from anybody.
We actually did answer. He did. I did. I said the world.
I don't understand how
not.
we get all the way out there. So you feel like the world is not?
I didn't say. Yeah, the world is not set up for the
bottom
black
lines?
person to say it.
What's everybody's bottom line?
Yeah. What do you, as a woman, do you feel like?
No, I don't think the world is set up for the black man to fail. I think that there are some
Do you
outliers.
feel like the black man is set up for failure?
I do not.
Okay, Rejean.
That was 2 questions. So the first one, is the world set up? I think the world is set up with systems that set us up for failure.
Okay.
Then, do I believe that black men are set up for failure? Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
Every day. My traffic stop today was probably a setup.
Yeah.
But God.
So the fact that you were driving 100
But
miles
God.
an hour.
But God.
The fact that you were driving 100
Yes.
miles an hour, though,
But
had
God.
nothing to do with it.
That was not on record, so I don't know what you're talking about.
So obviously, I'm gonna say you agree for 100%. We're set up for that good old failure.
Not through God's plan, but
Yeah,
the,
but the world plan.
But the world plan is 1,000%. Because
Yeah.
the black man is the ruler and king of this domain in this world, and it's a fact. Because that's why they keep telling you Jesus ain't black. If the world wasn't set up for failure, they wouldn't have white
your
imagery
savior-
of
your
Jesus.
savior ain't black.
Sorry, that's not a fact.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Okay. Well, we're gonna shift because y'all went all the way around the world.
Man, that was a merry-go-round conversation. If I've ever
Jesus
seen one.
Christ.
But it was good.
It
I
was-
hope
it
you
was
people were
knowledgeable.
listening because it was very
Hey,
Hey,
informative.
that's what it's about.
I hope
You didn't hear me
y'all
talk
caught.
much because I'm still in my learning years. I'm still growing in my knowledge.
I
But
hope y'all caught
I hope
all
y'all
that,
listen.
that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do. We have healthy debates here and exchanges, which I love. That's what I love about this show. So let's shift.
Somebody said we too spicy.
I got that too. Somebody texts me like, "Oh, this is spicy."
They have no
Candy.
idea. Hit the next topic. They have no idea.
Candy.
Yeah, you ain't. Yeah, Bear Candy.
Very candy.
I love my guests because they don't. So stay space. Let's do it because we need to talk about this stuff. It needs to
we
happen.
don't, who will?
If we don't, who will? So listen. This is gonna be a good one too. So. Do you feel like we are control, or do you feel like we as a people are in control of our lives, or are we influenced by outside forces? Do you feel like we are individually controlling ourselves, or are we influenced?
It's the Matrix. Let's start there and just continue to build.
Well, you can't say that. You can't say that. and
I
not say
did.
it.
It's interesting because I think you have moments. I think it's set up almost completely like that. I think it's a system that has been built.
Here we go with
And that's
systems.
just what it is. I'm telling you, you can't, because you can go as far back as you want to, and you can jump to the future as far as you want to go. There will always be a system in place for something. So systems have been always there, and it's just weird. But I think you have moments where you can find yourself and then log out. Like you have to have that ability to, because if you don't, then you're just every day going through life. And to just go through life isn't you living your life. It's just you going through life. It's kind of like water.
So you meaning go
and
to
a river.
work, get up, go to work.
Yeah, like they're like, I'm pretty sure we've all had either a parent that they've seen, an aunt, a cousin, that is just what happens. Wake up, breakfast. I'll speak about it. My aunt, I love her to death. Aunt Cynthia, it was just your birthday.
Happy birthday, Cynthia.
She wakes up, 2 sausages, 1 scrambled egg, goes back down, gets her coffee, gets ready for work, goes to work, comes home from work, takes her clothes off, comes back upstairs, makes a little bit of lunch, says hi to my grandmother. It's like just a river. It's just flowing. The days are just flowing and flowing and flowing. And it's like, but is there anything that you are actually doing? Is there any thought that you're putting into your daily walk through life? Because if it's not, you can't tell me that you make decisions.
CPO. what you got?
Somebody is making a decision for you, or something is making a decision for you. It doesn't matter how deep or how surface value you want to get to it. There can be somebody online telling you need to get 2 sausages and make that scrambled eggs, and that's what she's doing. Or it can go spiritually, and it can be some type of spirit that is letting her know, hey, yo, just ease through it. Just breeze through it. You don't got to worry. You don't got to think about nothing. You got to do nothing. You just got to keep that going. And we all have people that do that. And if you think about that movie, and you think about how people were just walking past him, and he's noticing that because he was unplugged, and there's plenty of people, I'm pretty sure there are people at this table right now who are able to and possibly live in that unplugged life where you just watch stuff happen. Because I'm there. I promise you I'm there. I just watch stuff happen, I'll be like, there's no way that nobody knows that's going on. There's no way that nobody's saying anything. There's no way that, and because I've logged out. And you have to be able to do that, because if you don't, then yeah, you are very influenced by something, somebody, or somewhere.
CPO, what you got?
Well, I think by the nature of we're in a physical environment that you're going to be influenced by your physical senses and all of the things that come along with the physical experience, right? Even when you see stuff, you hear stuff, all of those things are influenced by a physical incarnation, so as to speak. So when you're influenced, now what you allow to take over, I think Rakim, when you were talking about your aunt, she goes, I'm sorry.
She said my name.
Who was
I
that?
sure am. Look,
It's
and I
one of
said
these
it to say-
names that nobody
listen,
can get.
Listen, I
Just
said,
call him Flash.
Just call him Flash.
Flash.
It makes it easy. Trust
Flash.
me.
I apologies.
I was gonna
Apologies.
ask
No, he's Shawn.
I was talking about the rapper.
I thought she was talking about the rapper too. She's about to make a
That
reference.
I do apologize.
But factually to her, that's your name now.
Stop,
Yeah,
boy.
I guess so.
I do apologize.
Carry on,
Flash.
CPO.
If you're listening out
So-
there, my name is Rejean.
Right, Rejean.
Rejean,
I
like
do
a regime
apologize, not
with
Rakim.
an N.
So-
Go ahead, CPO.
No, but basically, again, yes, obviously we're influenced by outside. When you say forces, I guess you'd have to also define what a force is, right? Because again, I'm defined or influenced by weather. I'm influenced by somebody else's attitude, all type of energies and things like
But
that.
I think
that
that's
come
also
into
based
it.
upon what you allow, right? So somebody's energy, I'm not. You can be pissed off and I just sit there and look at you the same way as if you was happy because I've allowed myself to log out. I'm not going to allow certain types of energy to influence me. Damn near the weather at times. I'm sorry. If it's cold, I'm not allowing the weather to influence me. I'm going to put a damn jacket on. This
But
cold
that
don't
was
got
an
nothing
influence,
to
though,
do.
right? Because
It
the
technically is an
temperature
influence.
of
It's
the
influencing
weather
You mean on a
caused you to do
surface
a
value
behavior.
of it?
Well, but I mean, I'm saying so.
I believe the surface value there is influence,
Which doesn't
But
necessarily
outside
mean
of that-
bad influence,
No,
right?
of course not, unless you're talking about energy.
Well, but I mean,
we
even
just
with
talking about
that,
influences in
with
general.
influences in
general,
general.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
because you talked about your aunt, right? More
Yeah.
what that more sounded like was a habit. She was used
Yeah.
to doing
Yeah.
something a certain
Yeah.
number of times, and that stuff gets ingrained in you, and then you just start to do it unconsciously because it's pretty much what you've done every day, all day, and things like that. But again, I definitely think that we are influenced, and we don't exercise a lot of control over that influence. Again, you get up sometimes and you listen to the news, you're listening to things outside of yourself, which is what you were talking about,
Yeah.
unplugging, and then it dictates how your day go, right? You listen and you hear somebody say, something crazy happened on the news, and you're trying to figure out why you're in such a crazy mood when you woke up in a pretty good space that day. But then you're listening to, again, the news, you're listening to somebody else's story, somebody else's experience, and then you've downloaded it to The Matrix, which is actually one of my favorite movies. And now you're expressing it based on those influences, as opposed to what I'm learning at this stage in life is to go within and to make sure that whatever my response is or my interaction with it is based on my individual mission for that day or whatever it is I'm trying to accomplish.
Shawn, what you got?
We're 100% influenced in the world that we live in. And that's the one thing that if you make it a spiritual conversation as well, which way it leads to, the power of influence kind of determines the road that we get on, whether we stay on God's plan or we continue to go on our own path. The one thing that God gives us that allows us to, when we say and I heard you say, people, we're not making our own decisions, or we might, whatever, in the reference, I forgot exactly what you said, but God has given us the one thing called free will. God would never interject your free will, meaning that his plan is there. How you get there is based upon the decisions that you make. And that's what we do literally every day. I think the best description of that was the movie Bruce Almighty. Where
Good movie.
Great movie.
Where Morgan Freeman said, listen, you can have everything that you want in the world, right? There's an ultimate plan for you, but every decision you make, I can't tell you what to do or influence that. That's the word influence, because I've given the one thing that I've given everybody, which is free will. So based upon the decisions you make and that we make, based upon the influences that we see, determines what the outcome of everything that we do. Whether we like, and that's why everything now is the biggest influencer now are visuals, right? Yeah. Everything that we do is like, you got people who are learning to cook through YouTube.
Yeah.
We got people who are trying things they've never tried before, because it's like the influence can be either good or either bad. The outcome determines based upon if you are powerful enough to see through it. But because we live in the devil's realm, it's hard sometimes for people to depict what's really what's good or bad.
Yeah.
And especially what's good or bad for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you are right. People are visual influencers, which I think that's why the influencers are making so much money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, remember during COVID, they were catching influencers to push the jab.
Yeah.
Get the jab, and it was influencers doing it. And if you didn't catch on, it was the fact that, well, they are catchy. People are watching them. People are paying attention to them.
Yeah. It's weird because I just feel like we live in a world full of followers. Nobody wants to.
We live in a world full of more dummies.
That
people,
too.
Yeah. And you know why people have gotten more dumb? Let's go back to radio. Let's go back to radio for a second. Back in the day, none of us would live during this time, but back in the day, radio was the biggest influencer on everything. Yeah. The boxing events, world events, sports media.
Yeah.
And the one thing,
stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. So the one thing that the radio had was, before it became on TV, was radio had soap operas. And the reason why I said we live in the world of dummies is because with radio, it made you have creativity.
Yeah,
it made
Use your mind.
It made you think that
The imagination.
exactly. So when you see Sue Ann in person, you be like, "There's no way in hell I thought that was you."
Right.
But then
way
now
that was you.
you see it and you never think that this could be a different person, or this could be intangibly be me.
Yeah.
There's no connection
And
there.
we have two different thought processes.
Exactly.
Listening to the same thing.
Exactly.
Because my imagination is different.
Yeah.
than yours.
Exactly.
That's
Now,
funny.
but that goes to everybody is damn near cookie cutter.
Yep.
Because it's
Yep.
the same thing. You know why? Because they are visually seeing it now. You don't have to think about it.
And it's just
because it's
there.
already there.
It's in your face.
So if I can be like this person, dress like this, cut my hair like this, get my butt done like this, it's
Let's not even talk about that.
Hey, look, but that's influence.
Yeah.
That is influence.
Come on now.
I'm a trainer. So I remember being young and training, and it'd be girls that would come and be in the gym, and I would overhear conversations about, I'm just gonna go get my body done when I get this little and I'd be like, yo, you 23. Your body ain't even hit you yet.
Right.
Genetically speaking, nor biologically speaking. Your body ain't even hit you with the, all right, well, it's about time to have kids, so let me open these hips up a little bit more. Nothing of that has happened, but yet you already want to go do this. Why is that?
It's influence.
It's because because what it really is pushed by is money.
Yeah.
Because the girl who got the money got her boobs done and her butt done.
I mean, we already know the world influenced by money.
It's and that's the
That's
biggest
given.
influence
Yeah. I
of
mean,
everything, because to go from radio, what he said, it was just radio, right? And then what was radio missing?
A visual.
Yeah.
To most, but radio wasn't missing anything
Yeah.
because it was doing everything
Yeah.
it needed to do.
I agree.
You listened to it, but it was stimulating every other sense to you.
I agree.
But then it was like, well, if we put video on there, that'll be that. Boom, music videos, TV. Now that soap opera is broadcasting,
so
I gotta cast somebody.
we're
And
gonna
the casting
be-
of people is based upon what that individual wants Suzanne to look like.
I mean, we have to evolve
Right?
eventually. It has to happen. So, of course, that was going to happen sometime down the line.
There's a negative and a positive.
It is. So,
So true.
even like when you said when you have to use the visual. Do you remember back in the day? Because we were around the same age.
Yeah.
When they used to scramble
old are you guys?
the TV channels.
Yeah.
Like you can turn on pay-per-view and they'll scramble it, but you can still hear it.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
I used to sit there and
It's
like
called not paying for cable.
right. I'm not
young.
giving you the premium package.
Right. I
And
remember
so I used to sit.
That's
on
how I
my
watch.
living room
That's how I
floor.
watch porn. I imagine everything
Yes.
based upon
I
that.
used to sit on my grandmother's floor. You know I'm a Janet
Thank
Jackson
you, God, for
fan.
you too. I'm sorry.
You know I love
Thank you for
Janet
pouring
and
her.
Michael Jackson
Yes.
stuff.
She
When
loves
Janet Jackson
Janet.
came out with Poetic Justice,
Yeah.
I used to sit in front of that TV, scrambled, where I
Right.
could hear it, and I visualized the entire movie.
That's facts.
When I seen the movie, I'm like, well, hot damn, this is
Right.
not nothing that Now, I knew what Janet looked like,
Them goddamn box braids.
but I didn't know what everything else is going on. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. So yeah, I feel like we are influenced, especially now with social media being so vigilant as a presence.
Hell yeah.
You know, like even with the BBLs, even with weight loss. I mean, there's an ad on everything that's targeting you to do it.
Yeah.
Like you can, if you notice, if you go on Google and Google something, when you go on your Instagram and the social media, what's coming up in the ad?
That ad.
Yeah.
That very thing that you Google.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's just set up that way.
Well,
bro.
it's in your phone. It's a setting in your phone.
Yeah, I figured it was, but
Yeah.
I didn't know that until I'm like, what the hell?
It's
I
the
just looked this
Matrix.
up.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think that's another thing. Well, that's a whole other conversation. I think we got to stop thinking things are conspiracies too.
Yeah.
Some things are just really.
What?
Yeah, everything's not a conspiracy.
Really?
Yeah, so everything's not a conspiracy because
We're shifting.
I know.
Look, he going off. Go
I
ahead.
know.
Now.
No, but I
It's
mean,
good shit because it's still
It's cool. It's still related.
Conspiracies are also
It's related.
Influence.
Yeah, influence the culture.
so people used to say, "Damn, I just looked on what you call it. Now I got 17 ads about eggs."
Well, that was me. I used to think that
Yeah.
until I knew it was a setting in my phone.
But gee, imagine. See this.
Algorithm said it.
This is exactly. This is where it gets tricky. You know, there's only a small percentage of people who actually have one thing that a lot of people don't have: common sense.
Yeah, it ain't so common.
Exactly, and because we don't have a lot of people don't have common sense.
How do you
they
measure
automatic-
common sense?
How do you measure like that's between you and God?
Yeah.
No, well, no,
Yeah.
because the word common, you know what I'm saying, is basically putting a comparison. So what's common in my experiences, right? So you grew up as, what city did you grow up in?
I grew up in a great city. of
Shot
Chicago.
time.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you grew up in Chi-Town.
Yeah.
I grew up in Atlanta, right? What's common to you in Chicago would not necessarily be common to me in Atlanta because we have a different landscape of the experiences.
Well, let's
that
give an
we
example of what you think common is. Let's give an
Again,
example.
that's a comparison.
No, let's give an
of
example.
So is it common for black men to like butt behind, so to speak? Well,
That's
like-
very common.
Right.
That's very common.
That's very common, right?
But that's cultural. Let's not confuse
secondary.
cultural
well, but
with
it's
common
still,
sense.
but common is still common.
I got
It's a
one.
comparison.
Is it common for Chicago to have a wing shop on every corner?
Just about, yes.
Is it? Okay. See, I came here and I seen the wing shop on every corner.
Just like
Yes.
it's common.
But it's not common in New York.
Yeah,
In
right.
New York, what's common to see on every corner is a corner store.
A
or a
bodega.
corner
A
store.
bodega.
See,
Yeah.
so it's
bodega.
not.
So,
it's,
but
it's
again,
common
so that's
based
what I'm
upon,
saying.
Yeah.
You know.
Your relative experience. So
But
when
you're
you're
not-
But then
saying
we're
that
talking about
somebody
physical
doesn't
stuff.
have-
And he's talking about.
Yeah,
sense.
you're
But
talking about
even
commonalities.
still, common, but still, it's all going to be relative to my experience, my specific
I mean,
experience.
some things are just
Sense,
real.
I don't know
What?
about sense.
Like what?
Like, okay, I use my profession that I
Okay.
do Monday through
Yeah,
Friday.
go ahead, tap in.
I know that I'm about to run out of medication.
Right.
I'm on my last pill.
That's common. That's there you
Okay,
go.
Yeah.
I know I'm about to
Yeah.
run out. Then you call up to the doctor. I'm on my last pill, but didn't common sense tell you like 5 pills ago you was finna run out?
run
You
out.
should have been getting the. That's just natural
Now
common
you gotta
sense.
wait
You're
for the
saying
refill.
Now you gotta wait.
You're saying a natural reaction to even with that being an experience. But if you're saying that if I call you and I wait to the last minute, what's common to me is waiting to the last minute.
No, that's your stupidity.
No. Who's commonly what is your MO with respect to time? So common sense would tell me that if it starts at
got you on that
10,
one.
No, she didn't.
She did.
It's not common sense.
You said it was common that you.
No, we're
But, no, I'm
confusing.
saying
We're
that, no.
confusing commonalities with common
No,
sense.
common
sense
sense
is
is
if I put
still-
my hand on fire, it's gonna burn, whether I live in Africa
Again,
or if I live in Decatur.
but you have a subset of people that they don't mind
don't know
a
that.
level of pain.
They're called
not
idiots.
stupid.
No. Hot for me.
Some people
is
have a high
degree
tolerance
of
for
hot.
fire.
That's
But we're
right.
not talking about how
You're
big
talking about
fire.
But how do you
Fire.
define my
Fire.
tolerance to what fire is?
Okay.
I know for a fact your tolerance for fire is the same tolerance that
Let's
I
go-
got
let's
for
go-
fire.
You
Because
cannot
you're gonna
possibly
burn.
know that.
Let's go
At
extra- let's
some
go extra
degree, though.
literal.
Okay,
At
if
what
I could,
degree?
because I thought that was really literal though.
If I live
At
in
what
Australia,
degree, though?